Welcome to another episode of the Headlight Restoration Pro, where I'll be showing you how to take an ugly, beat-up G37 headlight like this and turn it into something like this. Crystal clear, wet perfection.
Now that's clean.
G37 perfection. Check it out. The Headlight Restoration Pro. Alright, let's get down to business. This is a difficult light. This is a 2011 G37, another G37 video. It's one of the popular cars because the light is, very beautiful. This car is actually very iconic and very, good-looking vehicle. This so happens to be a four-door version, black on black, pretty good condition, very nice looking. And this is a difficult light to do, but when it comes out and you do it correct and you use this method, or if you're good enough to use whatever method you use, these lights come out beautiful. This one is not quite as bad as the one on the other side, but I chose this one because filming in direct sunlight when the sun is facing your camera is just not that pleasurable for anybody. It's really bad quality. But anyhow, on top of this is rather a large light. So what I'm doing here is I am using a P320 with a double stuff. Not only am I using double stuff because of the bump, or there's a big lump on this light, and then there's a fin on the side right here, if you can see right there. There's a fin, and there's a big giant lump about the size of your palm. The size of your actual hand and palm together, so it makes it difficult to do with the flatter the surface you have, or less springy or less pillowy. It's going to be harder to do this headlight, and believe it or not, this headlight benefits a lot by extra intricate work like hand sanding. Hand sanding is going to be a real good part of this light. You just have to gauge it and see whatnot. I'm also using a 320 to start off with, not so much because this light is bad. It's never been restored, and keep in mind this is in 2011. It's never been restored, so that's pretty old, but it's still not that bad. The reason why I'm using it, the 320, is I'm using it lightly. It's just because it's such a large light, and it is it's somewhat bad. You need to go deep because it's never been done before. But what I'm doing is I'm really using light pressure with this 320, and I'm planning to use the same 320 on the other light, just not to sit here and burn through, because it's a little bit hard to see it as a beginner or just a novice. But I could tell with this light being the size that it is, and the level of degradation that's going on with the light, would take probably about anywhere from 3, maybe about 4 P500s. To alleviate that, I'm using or beginning very lightly, even lighter pressure than I normally use, and that's also why I'm using the double stuff method as well on this, just to help back off some of that pressure. Believe it or not, that double stuff helps you control your pressure a lot as well. But you got to be careful whenever you're using a 320, or you plan to use a 320. It's best to gauge it before you start the light, what you think you're going to have to start out with. But with the 320s and the 220s, you really got to be careful with the areas that are taped off, okay? Because the increased grit allows for, not only is it an increased grit, but they're increased strength, okay? They're more durable, so you really got to be careful when you hit the tape. You know, you really don't want to hit the tape much, and you really want to pay attention to when you are hitting that tape, because it can grind through that tape much easier than you're used to with the P500, 800, or anything else you're using. You know, just a cup takes a little bit of pressure, you know, a second or two on that tape, and it'll eat up those that tape, especially if you're not taping off correctly, which a lot of people really don't want to tape off correctly. Anywhere along the lights, it should be a minimum of 3 layers of tape. I don't care what tape you're using. Any within an inch all the way around the light, you know, an inch or two, preferably 2, but with you know, just the area around the light where the light meets the body should always be a minimum of you know, 3 layers of tape on those hard areas where you can gauge where my drill's gonna hit this. My drill's gonna hit this a lot. My sandpaper's gonna hit this area a lot. Those ones you want to double it. You want to do 4. You want to do 5. You want to do 6 layers. You know. And people are like, oh, why so much tape? Why so much tape? Because I don't want to sit there and try to scratch remove or paint chip fix or whatever happens when I mess up. Okay? I guarantee you a lot of people that you see, or a lot of people that say they're so-called professionals, when they just tape 1 layer of tape all the way around the headlights, whether they're hand sanding or whether they're using power tools, have messed up somebody's car. And they probably played it off and didn't tell the customer, hey man, I scratched up your shit right here, or yeah, your shit is messed up right here because of me. They just let it ride, and hopefully the customer doesn't notice. But I guarantee you they're doing that, and they're doing that a lot. The way I tape, if you can see this here and here, from here to here is you know, double tape, triple tape. From here out, you know, it's about 6 inches out. This other 3 inches up is, you know, single tape. Okay, that's just a precaution in case, which sometimes happens on lights like this. You know, the drill will throw yourself, or anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? You could slip, and you know, you could slip, or a dog could come out and bark at you, a freak, and you know, your hand will swipe if you're hand sanding, and you go past that tape. What happens? And 9 times out of 10. You know, if you're a headlight restorer, if you're not a true restoration specialist like myself, because I do all kind of stuff, paint restoration, glass restoration, all that stuff like that, you know, paint chip fix, scratch removal, scratch fix, you know, all kind of stuff I do that's restoration oriented. You're not going to know what to do. And then you're going to have to call a guy like me, and being that you're a professional, you know, you're either going to owe me a favor or I'm going to charge the shit out of you, right? So you're going to have to, you know, it's safety first. You see how much tape this is everywhere? I'm trying to show you this tape. You know, just like this and this, you're not paying attention, you can dig through this stuff. But you see how much tape I'm using? Okay, for the average, you know, I buy in bulk. If I didn't buy in bulk, the average roll of this 3M tape or whatever it would be, or whatever other kind of tape would be, maybe $5 a roll, $6 a roll. If you know, you could do probably like this, the way I do, about maybe 3 cars. Okay. So that's $5 for 3 cars, $6 for 3 cars. What I get them for, because I buy in bulk, I buy cases. I buy like $130 box. Okay, and it'll come, you know, with four vacuum packed roll towers of like 6 or some shit like that. So you know, for me, it's about $4 a roll. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, what you're seeing here, is probably about 35 cents of tape. Okay, 35 cents of tape can save you a lot of money for a lot of time. Time is money. Even if you do know how to do scratch remove and all that stuff, and you messed up somebody's outer headlight, or the car surface where it meets the headlight, or, you know, even further, you know, I've had slips where my, you know, drill or my hand has gone 5 inches past the headlight, and I've had to do scratch removals. Okay, if you don't know how to do that, you're going to have a headache. Okay, like I said, you have to pay somebody, or you're gonna have to tell them, hey, I messed it up, and it just doesn't look good, you know, and it's just not a good thing. So it's like, you know, stop being cheap with your headlight restoration and use the tape. And a lot of people think, okay, so I'm going to spray, so I'm still just going to use this one thing, and I'm going to, mask off with my clear film protection, which I use sometimes on certain cars, but still, it does not change the fact that if you hit it wrong, anything happens, it's going to go straight through that paper or that film. So safety first, on that note, just because these heavier duty pads are no joke. They'll eat through that stuff if you're not paying attention, or many things can happen. Luckily for me, in my career, in my skill set, I have been trained and I know how to deal with any kind of repercussion or damage that happens from doing headlights. I know how to repair it. I know how to fix it. Okay, not many people do. Okay, not many detailers do. Okay. So once I said, or once again, like I said at the beginning, it's going to be in your best benefit to do hand sanding, or be pretty diligent with the hand sanding on this. If you can see that lump around here, yeah, it's a pretty big lump, and it's completely rounded. It's like half an egg on these lights, if you can imagine that, like half an egg. So it's really hard to get in those areas correctly with a spinning disc, disc, okay, because the motion. But with the same disc, with the up and down, side to side motions, you can get into those areas very good. So you kind of gotta use what the light is calling for. You need to think about that, because once you try to do this light, and you'll see like certain areas aren't getting hit correctly, so that's when the hand sanding comes into play. So now transitioning from the P800 to the the 3000 Trizac Pad. Some people call it P3000. I do sometimes. It technically is a P3000 Trizac Pad, but or it's a 3000 Trizac Pad, whatever's clever. But anyhow, Trizac Pad is magic. This pad here deletes fine sanding marks very well. Okay, that's why they're so expensive. Okay, they are a magic pad. They're expensive to make, and they're in high demand. So every year they go up. Since I started buying them about 2-3 years ago, they have over doubled in price. So hopefully they calm down and they peaked out or something, but they just seem to keep going up. Just because they're in high demand and they do what they do. It makes it a lot easier, and it makes for a lot better finished product. And if you notice, this is somewhat of a scratch removal pad. So I'm using this with the double stuff, and I can use it on those areas a lot better than any of the actual sandpaper discs, just because it's a scratch removal, not per se a scratch maker. That makes sense. So I can use it a lot better in those spots that I can't, or you can't use a regular sanding disc on, because you'll start eating up and scarring up the light, or digging too deep in those weird little areas like that. So now I'm about to hit this with the Windex here. It's actually not Windex. You could use Windex, would be perfect, but I use in bulk. I believe this is Perfect Glass Cleaner. I use Chemical Guys Glass Cleaner. I use whatever is on sale at that time. I'm not too particular with this because I'm using the genre of glass cleaner. I just had a question about that. Some people say, why don't you use alcohol? Why don't you use this? Because typically glass cleaner, is designed for transparent surfaces, okay? Either transparent surfaces, because it's called glass, right? So it's designed for transparent surfaces, or reflective surfaces, okay? Not to leave residue behind, not to leave streaks behind, okay? That is the primary thing for good grade glass cleaner. But check out these tools, these little tools in here, and this case is helping me keep my blower in tip-top shape. So if you get a blower, I suggest you get a case with it too, because I had my other one, my first one, for damn near 2 years, but I feel like I could have gotten more years out of it, just because it wasn't in a case. It started messing up. But anyhow, As you see, I use that to blow out the moisture in the cracks. I do that now so it doesn't hit me in the back when I'm ready to spray, coat it, and there's water still in those cracks. But back to the glass cleaner, okay? Alcohol is not meant to, really clean glass. Vinegar is not meant to clean glass. All these other things people say, I have asked in the comments, why don't you use this? Because this and that. Because they leave streaks. Because they're too stripping forward. Most glass cleaners are ammonia based. They are It's a perfect chemical for glass or transparent surfaces, and not to use. It's very similar to alcohol-based products, but alcohol-based products are more designed to strip. Okay, these products from ammonia aren't meant to strip that much. They're meant more to sterilize, and also in terms of glass cleaner, not leave streaks on a transparent surface, which makes it perfect for headlights. That's why I use it. Anyways, what he's doing right now is with the 3M hard lens polish cleaner. Okay, this is amazing stuff. Out of all the polish cleaners that are for headlights, or that are for plastic, or that can be used to polish plastic, this by far is the one that is the best that I've ever came across. Okay, and I've tried all the plastic X's, I've tried all the oddball things, I've tried the metal polishes, I've tried all kind of stuff, I've tried carnauba wax, I've tried all these things, and nothing holds a candle to this product. This product is, it's light years ahead of the game for this function. Okay, it works a lot on other things too, but we're not getting into that. We're talking about headlights. It allows the proper amount of heat to go through when you're polishing. And some of them are too oily, and they inhibit the heat that you need to really get that clarity and that transparency in this plastic. Okay, it's just formulated really well, and it also embeds itself into those pockets of the polycarbonate, which is what the headlight is made out of. Okay, which is very important for headlight health and clarity, and for headlight function and usage. Okay, so this is space age technology with this stuff. The other stuff is just some guy saying, oh, I started a company and I made something to fill a gap in for demands, needs, to try to make some money. This stuff here had to have been chemically designed by very expensive scientists, which of course is the case when you buy things from 3M, because 3M has stock. Now tell me, who are you gonna buy your stuff from? Okay, I don't work for 3M. I don't get paid any kind of money from 3M. I'm just being legit here. Who you gonna buy your stuff from? A big ass company that's a multi-billion, maybe even trillion-dollar company that in the long run, for year to year in earnings, that has all these $1 million scientists working on different things, that has stock options, versus some company that's just a car company. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, which one's going to be, hitting harder? But take a look at this. This right here, just using this product, is better than most people's finished product, and I haven't even finished. Have you noticed that? Have you ever noticed that about most of my headlight restorations that I show on here? Now, nothing changes. I don't pick and choose them. I just record. And if the recording, comes out good, there's no people walking by talking, or, sitting there walking, talking to me or something. Whatever it is, I put it on here if it fits. Okay. Now, look at how clear that is. Look how beautiful that is. And it's not even finished. I still have to spray it. Now, that comes up another question. I've been flexing this topic a lot lately, because I see a lot of people, they they spray it when the headlight is white and foggy. Okay, after they're sanding their final sanding stage, it's all white, dry, and foggy, and they spray it and it comes clear. Okay, what do you think what effect do you think happens when they spray it at that point versus me spraying it at this point? Something's got to be different, correct? Exactly. A lot of things are different. Okay, I can't really go into that right now. I will in the future, but let's just tell you this: the headlight health isn't there. This is going to lead to cracking. It's going to lead to bad headlight health. It's going to lead to all kind of things. Okay, but the number one thing it does is make your headlight not function as well. So when you light up your headlight at night, if they pulled the same exact car, or somebody did the other light the way these guys do when it's all white and they spray it, versus me spraying it when it's clear, and they turn out the lights, this light right here is going to project probably 30 yards further. Shit you not. A lot of people don't know that. Okay, I've done all these tests and I've done all these things. When I see other people's methods, guess what? I try them. And then I'm like, okay, I see what he's talking about. This is good. This part here is shit. Or this part here is garbage. Or I see this and I'm like, this is a scam. This guy, let me go see this. This guy put orange juice and he's sanding with orange juice. Let me see what happens to this. And then I research what's in orange juice. Then I research what pad he's using. And I research this and that and this. And I go further and deeper and I pull stuff apart. Why? Because I want what's good out of there. And I want to know what's bad is bad so I can be the best I can be. So that I can be on here someday and I'm showing you guys these things. But look how beautiful this is.
Now that's sexy.
I topped it. It was already perfect. And then I topped it with the clear coat. UV certified clear coat designed for headlights. Makes a difference as well. That's going to increase your output as well. Okay, your headlight output, what it's all about. It's cool to be pretty and look nice like this, but does it function correctly? That is the number one thing. When you drive around your girlfriend, you drive around yourself, you don't want to die, you don't want to crash, you don't want somebody to crash into you because you can't see or they can't see you, or you got your babies or whatever in the car. You want to be safe. That's the number one thing. Okay, let's look at the other side. Boom, this one's a little bit badder, a little bit worse, but it's in the sun. I can't really film on that one. So check this out. Did you see the cans there? I leave them in the sun. So they can heat up. Okay, you don't want to ever really spray ice cold spray because it's going to do weird stuff. Just trust me. But check this out. Remember the other side? This is it when it was finished. Look at that. Now it's finished. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Just like the other side. Just in the sun. As you see, it's all, shiny, whatever. But tip of the day. Check this out. See that there? I bought this specifically because it's a very sturdy, rubberized speaker. Okay, I listen to music, but it has another meaning. When I put it here, it stops this from falling. Now, about halfway into my second light, his hood fell. Okay, this can ruin your day. If you're reaching in there to grab something or you're not paying attention, it hits you in your head, you're going to the hospital. You're not going to be able to work. You're not going to be able to, do things. You're not going to be able to feed your family or do whatever. You're not going to be able to do headlights. So, tip of the day, check that out. Another tip of the day. See that rainbow finish? That's what you want in a clear coat. Why? Because that's reflecting UV. That's what you're seeing is that rainbow. That's UV reflection.
The Headlight Restoration Pro.